is what we call
hater shit.
There is no better term.
Heather says, I cannot stand a crackhead. Keep your pipe and your hot hands the fuck away from me. God, please remove this filth from my life. I am currently resting in a safe area of the city where drug addicts do not hang out. Why are we being approached by crackheads while inside of our locked tent working on my coffee table book? How dare y'all interrupt her with her coffee table book? Fucking offering crack. It is so crazy to me how people, like, do people actually offer crack? I mean, it's probably not the expensive drug nowadays, but I thought it was I don't know. Tell Xavier to stop smoking it. And you idiot, if it's in the fucking pipe and you're smoking weed on top of the fucking crack, you yourself are smoking crack, dumbass. I fucking swear, if you have a crack, you make me so angry. This poor baby, like everybody who believes, I'm not pushing anything down anyone's throat. I'm just saying for anyone who actually, like, believes and you're a Christian and you pray to God and stuff like that, please pray for this baby. Please pray for this baby. And like I said, I told someone before, like in the comments about something, I would honestly rather, I prayed for Heather yesterday. I would rather Heather get help and be sober and be happy and be healed and living a happy life instead of me ever having a single video on her ever again, besides to say the update is about how she did a total 360, like, or was it 180, whatever.
I want to know why these disgusting fucking addicts continue to follow us. You can't be nice to these people. Gary V, you're out here. I want to tag Gary V. You're out here making these posts that you have deployed compassion on these addicts and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, I've moved my living space about 30 fucking times. And every time I do, these motherfuckers...
And every time I do, she tagging Gary V. Like, I thought it was like somebody personal. I was like, oh shit, who's Gary V? Who do I need to talk? Who am I about to look up? And I guess it's someone like, probably someone who, like, is famous for, like, fucking tweeting and shit. I don't know. I will acknowledge I'm ignorant about who Gary V is.
Follow us and try to get us to do drugs or make a fucking nasty outward appearance as far as PR goes that there's some drug use going on around here. We are in a good area. Get rid of these motherfuckers. I don't care what you have to do with them. Get rid of them and stop fucking intermingling people who don't have drug issues with people who do. That's how you fucking prevent drug issues from becoming
I can't help but laugh because sometimes whenever she gets mad, that little accent comes out, and I'm not even gonna freaking lie I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Like, I do the same thing sometimes that I hate so bad to admit it. Because it is funny hearing it sometimes. But I remember one day I got so pissed off because if I am mad, I do speak differently. Obviously, I'm sure y'all have heard it, but I mean, like, my daughter has said something before because she's like, not you with that mad voice.
Get rid of the motherfuckers with issues, throw them in fucking sober living communities, throw them in fucking rehabs.
But that's what we want to do with you, Heather, and we can't. Like, everybody wants to throw you into a rehab, into not even a hospital, just someone to just kind of look at you and talk to you and just get some help, just heal. Like, maybe you just have to talk, and you love to talk. So maybe if you talk it out with a therapist, it would kind of gently go away. You know what I'm saying? Not go away, but it gets easier. Fuck, shit. Everybody has all these traumas. Most of us do. It makes us who we are today. But there has to be a time, because I feel so bad for her. I really do not want her to be like 80 years old, walking the damn streets, talking loudly to herself, cursing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, it's just sad. I wouldn't want that on my worst enemy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. I can't apologize for being nice, though. Oh, yeah, Heather. Yeah, throwing everybody into rehab. Throwing everybody, like, she's almost talking about herself. Like, that's We want you to do that, but you won't do that. They're not doing that. So give us some help.
Get them away from people who don't have that issue. I'm 6 months pregnant being approached. I'm healthy, but I'm scared. So I try to stay close to Northwestern Hospital. I trust them there. No one has ever hurt me there. I worked there for many, many years, 5 years for Private Clisma, which was located on the 20th floor, Suite G, of the 676 Arcus Pavilion. Terrible day, as per the fucking usual. We're still right here in the same spot we started this morning. Xavier turned into some fucking transvestite overnight. I don't know what the fuck happened. He turned into a straight female. I was happy. I got to talk to my kids. I was trying to upload all the content for the coffee table book. I've already created a narrative for the fine art sales. They just won't allow me to do shit. I walk down the street. They capsize all of our stuff. I create a workaround. They make sure it doesn't work. I have cash on my card. Every ATM or every option to take it off isn't effective. They don't allow me to take off any cash. They've literally made me so sick to my stomach that I don't have an appetite. All I've eaten today is a cup of fruit and a yogurt, and I feel sick as fuck. It's not me being, being unreasonable. Like, oh, what do I mean when I say they won't let my coffee table book? I am using Google Photos, okay? And it doesn't matter what program it is that I download. Any program that I download, they don't allow it to work. I have all the photos picked out for the first probably 100 pages. And the writing. The program, the app Pages by Google or by Apple, Slides by Google, none of it will download. I attempt to create a folder where I invite Xavier to begin putting the photos in order. They block it. They don't allow me to invite him. Google forces me to allow access to all my photos. I say no like 50 times. They don't allow it. I have the photos.
Yeah, good luck with getting anything done with not allowing certain apps to have access to your phone, Heather. Unfortunately, that's the way. It's the bittersweet shit of fucking smart devices.
In an album, in a folder, they won't allow me to use the program Pages. They make me come to a dead halt on all my work. I am productive. I am intelligent. I am capable.
Yeah.
Make no mistake about it.
Right?
To sell my body. I don't need to suck dick. I don't need to sell drugs. I don't need to exploit anybody else.
But look, for real though, because you still in a tent, homeless for what, 3-4 years? Come on. You gotta find something to do. You ain't gotta do that, but you find something to do. Flip some fries or burgers.
I don't need to do fraud. I don't need to do any of that.
It's so funny because everything that she just listed, I guarantee you she has done all of it for money. Guarantee you. Like, isn't that she always, reflects? I'm gonna have to take it back.
Shit to fucking sell my body. I don't need to suck dick. I don't need to sell drugs. I don't need to exploit anybody else. I don't need to do fraud. I don't need to do any of that shit to fucking win at life. Yeah, I just need...
She done all that shit for real. You did that shit.
Whoever is responsible for this to sit the fuck down and get the fuck out of my way. That's what I need. My winning has nothing to do with y'all's losing. You people lose because you continue to put effort into stopping me. You're not stopping greatness. You're just slowing it down. Know that shit. You can make me cry today. You can make me want to stab my fucking self.
Oh my God.
You can make me question everything I ever knew about life, whether it's true or not. But tomorrow I'm still going to wake up. And if I'm not ready tomorrow, I'll be ready the next day. And if I'm not ready that day, I'll be ready the day after that. You can fucking bet your life on that shit. Numerous times. This is a mess.
Did she say where she would stab herself? For some reason, I just thought about leg. Did she say she would stab her leg? Or is that just my mind hearing leg after she's saying stab? Goodness gracious. Sometimes I feel like I need to, collaborate, put some of these videos together and find her caseworker. If anyone knows, I hate going real live, and I've only done it, once, okay? Everything's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. If anyone knows if she has a social worker, I honestly don't even know the name. I mean, I don't even need to know the name. I just think that there's so many people worried about the baby and Heather that I'm, I guess, assuming and hoping and praying that they're already on top of her. For one, just because of how she is and how she acts, and I'm sure she shows some kind of signs for them to watch her. But I also know there's a few people here who are mandated reporters. So, I don't know. I'm just like hoping that they are aware, because I was talking to someone earlier today and I had this really sick thought in my head. And I was like, what if she did not? And it brought me back to Leticia, because Leticia would threaten this all the time. And I'm like thinking to myself, what if Heather doesn't go to the hospital whenever she's in labor? You know all these crazy stories, man. Like, it freaks me out. Like, I want to believe she can't take the pain and she would go to the hospital. But unfortunately, we did, like, I don't want to talk about that. Okay. So I'm just hoping and praying she goes to the hospital, because now I'm like, oh, well, shit, fuck. Like, what if she doesn't go to the hospital and she has the baby in the tent? I mean, I'm sure she won't be able to go very long, but the shit's scary. If she's like, well, I'm not going to be able to keep him anyways, like, I don't know. I'm kind of freaking out. And with Leticia, I kind of knew, like, I was able to talk to someone who was on the case, so I felt more comfortable about it. And now I don't know if there's a case on Heather, who's on the case, like, nothing like that. So if anyone actually 100% knows, and like actually knows for a fact, and not just, oh, well, I heard, please let me know. Whether it's a comment down here or Instagram, DM, email, whatever.
For authorities to get involved, for law enforcement to get involved, for the feds to get involved. If we start treating all of our citizens like this, the world will be over with. There's no hope for the future. There's no hope for our children. It will be over with. And that's not the world I want to live in or look at. I don't want to look at the future like there's no hope. If you're blocking me from being productive in any way, if you're preventing me from doing my job, which is to make myself something, to make myself profitable, to support myself, my children, the children I made and created and brought into this world, that's my job. It's not my job to wonder what you're doing or you're doing or you're doing or you're doing. I'm not a cop. I'm a
Okay, so if that's your job, then you're not doing your job, and you're 4 years late.
Civilian. I chose my path. I'm an artist. I'm a mother. I'm a curator. I'm a producer. That's my path.
Y'all, I know everybody, I'm sure most of y'all picked up. She says she was an artist first. I'm an artist. I'm a mother. It's always like that. Literally, that's how she lives her life. You just have to listen to her talk, and she will just pretty much tell on herself. Like, I've already learned so much, and it's usually the opposite of what she says, besides this point. Like, she really does put artists before her kids.
What? That's my job. It's not my job to wonder what you're doing or you're doing or you're doing or you're doing. I'm not a cop. I'm a civilian. I chose my path. I'm an artist. I'm a mother. I'm a curator. I'm a producer. That's my path. What's yours? And why does your path keep on getting in the way of my path?
Oh, verse, Lord, help me learn your ways. Show me how you want me to live. Guide me and teach me your truths. You are my God, my Savior. You are the one I have been waiting for. I really hope she really does actually read these. This is what she really needs to read, is like scriptures. Oh, goodness gracious. November 15th, 2023 at 5:50 p.m. When they get too loud, chanting is the only cure I've found that legitimately works, and if possible, something religious or motivational. I use the Lord's Prayer or the Serenity Prayer, if that's a good prayer. Who is they? Anyone imposing their negativity. We finally about to get a definition, though. Anyone imposing their negativity upon your peace, be it comments online, in person, from loved ones having a hard time of their own, or strangers. Anything negative that is imposing upon your peace is silenced with chanting. I do it in my head, but out loud or in a group will also work. If anyone comes up in my comments and y'all are like imposing my comments with your negativity, you are they. And that's cool. We kind of got a definition. I have this same one saved on my phone. Ain't that funny? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Oh, this brings back memories like growing up Catholic. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm very proud of who I serve. I don't want to offend anyone. I'm sorry if I offended anyone. I didn't really realize that I was, like, praying like that. But, so I'm sorry if I offended anyone. But, no mistake. I'm not sorry for, I would never be quiet for that.
So I could only assume that it was because of my relationship at the time. You guys know my first two marriages were pretty basic. Blue collar type of guys. Is it blue collar? Middle class, regular working guys. One was an armed security guard, or is an armed security guard. The other one does security at a bar at night now, I believe. But before that, he just worked in like a regular factory. There's a factory called Body Solid Fitness Factory Outlet in North Riverside, and he would work there and literally come home, give me his check, take out like $50 for whatever he needed, and give me his check for the rest of the opposite that. All of the social group of that person, we were never really friends, me and his friends, 15, 16, I don't know them. Those are not my friends, that's not my social circle. So it's weird, it seems like they keep getting brought up in my life and I'm forced to talk about these people and I have nothing to say. I don't know them. If you want to know what they do or what they're involved in or have been involved in, I highly suggest you contact them, But besides being pretty isolated over the last 4 years, I have never in my life, and I am 36 years old with 3 children. I have never been victimized. In my entire existence from age 0 to 32, I had to do the math there. I would sell sunglasses for myself, making only $5 profit on each pair. I would sell waist trainers. I would sell time. I would sell fitness. I would sell personal training, nutrition. I would work as a bartender. I would work as a server. I would work as an entertainer. I worked my ass off, and I bought a car and a place for my children and I. Never developed a drug addiction. Took medication, prescription medication. A lot of people say
I can't. I'm not the only one because I saw someone
is similar to a drug addiction. I highly disagree. If you're saying that ADHD is the same as being, unregulated with no physician on hard drugs from the street, you're just wrong. There's no going back and forth on that. You're just wrong. I've seen the same care team for 12, 13 years. And, my life has been just one violent victimization after another since 2019. 2 weeks prior to his release after the flooding, I was jumped and stabbed by 3 women 11 times with screwdrivers. The state of Illinois did not pursue that case, even though they had the video footage from the gas station of the women who attacked me, their license plate number, and the ID they checked into the prison with. So they know who these people are, and they chose not to pursue it. And that's Will County, I believe, Joliet. About a year after that, I was, besides the abuse I went through with Dylan in my own home, being choked and thrown on the ground and stomped on and beaten, I got out of that, and was thrown into the street. My vehicle destroyed, stalked in the street. Went to several places to live: Barrington, Illinois, with Charlie Keene, Arlington Heights, Illinois, with Eric Shull, and I was stalked to every single one of them. I don't know by whom. I reported it to law enforcement. They haven't helped us at all. My car keyed while being parked in a gated community in Barrington that I had never been in before, that no one knew me to go in. It was my first time ever there. What else? I was bludgeoned by a man at a gas station, at a car wash in broad daylight. He hit me approximately 20 times with a tire iron from my car. Also punched me and kicked me, broke my skull open. I needed to go by ambulance to the hospital. I received staples to the back of my head. That person was arrested and charged in May of this year, received 30 months in prison for a violent assault with a deadly weapon. And I wasn't even informed or offered the opportunity to show up in court to testify against him. Victim services are something that are guaranteed to every single citizen of the state of Illinois. There are many other states in the United States that offer victim services as a law. It was passed in 1991. It's called Marsy's Law. You can Google it. And basically what it entails is that if someone victimizes you violently, you're entitled to receive restitution. If you're not able to work for days, if you're hospitalized for any time, if your mental health is affected, you are entitled to restitution paid by the court system, and then the court system goes after the abuser for restitution, to repay themselves. That's the law. Again, that's Marsy's Law. You can look that up. No one is holding these people accountable, nor are they holding the court system accountable for the restitution that I'm supposed to receive. Since January of 2020, my 3 children who have resided with me on a full-time basis from the day of their births all the way through January of 2020 have had to stay with their father or other family members. They have no idea what to think. I have no idea what to tell them. I don't know. How do you tell your 3 children that you were forced to walk around for 5 days, forced to not sleep? Every time you laid down and tried to go to sleep, someone came and antagonized you awake until you felt so unsafe on the bench where you were laying, you had to keep walking. And then when you finally did lay down, you were raped by a man who was 6'2" tall and didn't give you the chance to run away. And even if he would have, I didn't have the energy. How do you explain that to your children, that police have been unresponsive in dealing with that? How do you explain to your children that you're still outside 4 years later, even though you've been employed at 21 places of employment and unlawfully chased out of each one, either by being bullied, punched, kicked, assaulted, threatened? How do you explain that to, a 10, 15, and 17-year-old? Oh, your mommy was raped and beaten and bludgeoned and stabbed, but the police aren't doing anything about it. How do you explain that?
Why would you tell your kids that? Why?
I've gone above and beyond to let everyone involved know where I stand. I don't tell on people. I talk about things I have been involved in or I personally have experienced, not things that other people do. I try not to even express myself to Xavier, my own husband, about what other people do. And it gets hard, it gets very, very difficult. I mean, look at the comments. How are these people not being charged in a RICO? I mean, this is sick. 4 years of this? It's disgusting. What would make you happy? Would you be okay if I killed myself? Would that make you better? Would you be happy then? Would you stop sending pictures of my tooth and pictures of the tent and making me feel as though I've been sexually assaulted and slandering my business and my reputation? Would that help you? You're disgusting. You are disgusting. You're in my comments on my page saying the most vulgar things day after day after day after day after day after day into year 4, and you haven't seen criminal charges yet? That's pushing me to the ultimate max, separating me from my entire family and all my loved ones, robbing me, raping me, following me, stalking me, harassing me. Those are things that I can't forgive. Those are things that the criminal justice system needs to intervene on. Not every problem is meant to be dealt with by a civilian on their own, and that's what I am. A mom, a wife, a woman, a civilian, not a street person, not a drug addict, not a mental health patient. A strong, intelligent, well-spoken, articulate, experienced woman with a resume that would knock your fucking socks off. There are more than thousands of people who have met me personally, appreciate everything that I've done for them, and I'm 6 months pregnant. 6 months pregnant. People who voluntarily stalk, harass, slander, libel innocent women while they're pregnant. What's going on with you guys? You okay? You all right? You need a hobby? So today, Xavier and I woke up early, as we always do. Around 7 a.m. is the average time I wake up. I do the same thing every day. First, I start crying a little bit because I look around me and I realize that I'm still outside 4 years later. I'm scared. I miss my children, and I don't know what to tell them or my family about what's going on. I know for a fact that I don't deserve any of this. I know for a fact that there's not a human being living or dead that deserves this. And you guys know I despise rapists. But I don't feel that anyone should be tortured. If you're a rapist or you're a murderer or you're doing something fucked up, just go to prison, or get rid of these people. We don't need to torture them, right? What's the point of that? No one deserves that. An animal doesn't deserve that. But you're doing it to me, a pregnant woman. You wonder certain things about these individuals, right? We wake up as normal, approximately 6:30, 7 a.m. I start crying a little bit. Then my baby moves and I remember that I'm alive. And even though I don't know the answers to everything that's going on, I'm alive. And my babies are alive. And my baby in my tummy is alive. And then I pick up my phone and I text message my children and I tell them to have a good day. And I look and I see Xavier there, and usually he's incredibly kind and compassionate and there for me in every way, shape, and form. But occasionally, there is some sort of nefarious, malicious influence over him. I don't know if they remove him while I'm sleeping. I truly don't know how to describe it. He goes from being a strong, intelligent, dedicated husband and man to someone who picks things up like this and carries his hands like this and talks like this, and that's not my husband. I don't know who that is. You guys know that I had one issue where Xavier put his hands on me and he put on Daisy Duke shorts, purple ones, and a Playboy Bunny crop top. Wish I was kidding. That's not Xavier. That's not his personality. He would never do that of his own will and volition. Never in a million years. It's not funny. It's not a joke. Like, this is serious and this needs to be responded to by authorities. If you guys watched the video that I made, I don't even know if I uploaded it, about the belief system that people have with external influence, extortion, bisexual extortion, straight men being preyed upon, straight men getting high and engaging with gay men or transvestites, and then or trans people and being extorted. Major CFOs, CEOs, managers, vice presidents, presidents of companies being followed and silently targeted and honeypotted. What does that mean? Basically, anyone who works as a C-level executive or higher for a company is listed publicly. In most companies, if it's publicly traded, it's listed publicly. Well, these I don't even know what word that these scum fucking buckets, these scumbags who have never worked for shit in their lives. Maybe because they're battling oppression wherever they're living, or maybe they're being abused. I don't know the reasons. I don't know, because they're never coming up to me saying, Heather, this is what's going on, can you help? They just act, they just attack. And they're getting access to these lists of people who work in a professional capacity and make six figures or about that, and they're targeting them. And married men, they're not responding to a call like an escort getting called and saying, sure, I'll go on a date with you, They're seeking these men out, following them, going to the bars they hang out in, going to the restaurants they hang out in, listening by hacking to the phone calls they have with their wives and friends and family, getting to know who they are, and then psychologically manipulating them for a way in. If they can't get in with the person being sober, they drug them. They use Rufinol, GHB. They use tons of other things. And when they have that person who has a bankroll, who has a checking account where they want them, high, unsuspecting, they engage in weird, fucked up, vulgar sexual acts with them. And then they call them the next day and send them photos. It could be a straight man who has never had a gay inclination in his life. They'll send him a photo of a guy with his mouth on his you-know-what, his naked you-know-what, and say, if you don't transfer me this amount of money, your wife and kids are going to know about this. I wish to God that I was lying. I promise you I'm telling the truth. I would never lie about that. And they're ruining these people's lives. They're emptying their bank accounts. They're stalking them. They're chasing them down. They're destroying their lives. It's sickening. It is fucking sickening. And I mean, these are hard. Some of these people are pieces of shit. You know, don't get me wrong. Because you could be a real fucking piece of shit as a C-level executive. I'm not saying that you can't. There are good and bad at every single level of income. Every level. Poor, medium, high. Your income doesn't make you a good or bad person. The way you treat others, the way you handle yourself, your generosity toward those in need, that's what makes you a good or bad person, in my opinion. But I'm not God, and only God can judge. These people are targeting everyone without fact-finding and even making an educated judgment. We always say only God can judge. But at the very least, if you're going to do some fucked up shit like this, and criminals, I'm talking to you too, exploited, oppressed, whatever your story is, if you're going to target someone to die, that is a promise. So somehow, I'm being used without my knowledge, and they're training me and exploiting me to meet with these men, a lot of men, who are C-level and above executives, as a mole. You guys know what that is? Someone who, is like the inside person to get information, figure out what's going on. And I was being used by law enforcement as well as bad guys. Who are actually good guys who police actually collaborate with. And I had no idea. I had no idea. I was none the wiser. But I was crying for help the entire time and telling them on a recorded line that I couldn't take it. That I believe in monogamy. That I believe in love only with sex. That I don't believe in sex without love. And that was not accepted by this group of people. And I was forced into situations that I never. I was sexually assaulted. I was sleep deprived. I was food deprived. I was tortured. And to this very day, that continues at times. I get little breaks. And there are, like I said, for the most part, a lot of bad good guys and a lot of good bad guys who step in. Thank God. I call them angels. Normal civilians don't understand what I'm talking about, and that's kind of why I'm making this video. I don't know where to go from here. I don't trust anyone. My bank accounts have been drained numerous times.
Oh, come on, it's getting weak. Live video paused. Fuck. I wonder if she's with Xavier. Some of these comments are like crazy.
Has been affected tremendously. I'm sure my children and their perception of the world has been tremendously affected. I don't really know where to go from here. Remains the same. I don't have any new information to offer. I just don't. So as I sit here and I'm pressured daily, constantly, from every angle to provide information that I don't know what you want from me. Doing these photo shoots, curating these photo shoots is literally the only thing that I have left. It's the only thing that I can do without punishment. As I said, I've gotten 21 legal W-2 jobs since 2020, and I have been chased out of every single one of them in under 3 months. Under 3 months. I've never been fired from a job in my life. I'm employable. I have a bachelor's degree. I have no drug. I have nothing. But they keep on ruining my life. What do I have to do to not be stalked? What do I have to do to go to sleep at night and not be woken up in tears and afraid? I have a photo that I'm not going to post, but I have it, and I posted it up on YouTube and made it private, of my pants from last night. Mind you, I'm 6 months pregnant. I wear these pants for 6 hours. These pants have a white mark by the butt and a white mark by my vagina, indicating that some sort of rape occurred.
Oh
it
my
looks like
God.
semen.
No,
I swear to God on my life. I haven't had sex with Xavier in about a week. So if making me feel as though I've been sexually assaulted is the only way that you people can control, manipulate, a shitty job. I am no one's sacrifice. I am no one's sacrifice. All the police reports I filed, and there are more than 100. And I'm still outside, walking back and forth from downtown to the suburbs so that I could drop off a bag or two of food to my children once a month. Or making it their job to continue treating me this way, pregnant or not. Why are these people not being apprehended? So today, for instance, I tell Xavier, I've been working on a coffee table book. And if you guys are familiar with Google, you guys know that Google has a couple of functions. Google Photos, Google Pages, Google Forms. They're all free services, Google Docs. Wait. And all of these services are free, completely free to use. I download Google Photos and I invite Xavier to one of the folders where I'm choosing not only photos that I've created and curated, where I'm the model, the photographer, the makeup person, the clothing person, the designer, the curator, the producer, everything. But also hashtags, captions, poems, verses to songs, etc., and so forth. I send all this. It takes me about 2 hours to compile all of this content from off of the 9,000 photos I have on my phone. And I create a file folder on Google Photos, and I put all of these photos into it. And someone in my phone, nefariously, because I've given no one permission to access my phone, prevents me from sharing them with Xavier. So they're basically taking every technological intervention that they can take to prevent me from being productive on this coffee table book. They are stopping me dead in my tracks from reaching the next step of publication in this coffee table book. Now, this is my second book that I'm working on. My first book is 425 pages handwritten because I sat down every day that I was in my apartment at Montclair, or every other day, with my keyboard and my laptop and tried typing chapter after chapter, only to go back and review the chapter I had just written and find that it was completely inverted. That someone had intentionally hacked through my laptop, changed sentences out of order, deleted entire paragraphs,
No,
and when you
just
read
don't
it
make
back
sense.
from what I have handwritten, you can see that it makes no sense.
Exactly.
It makes no sense at all whatsoever.
It never did.
It's not what I wrote nor what I typed.
Okay.
I did that for 3 months, typing and retyping and retyping. I got nowhere. Nowhere. In 424 handwritten pages. I have it with me. I carry it around with me everywhere I go. Back and forth, back and forth. I carry this 424-page novel with me. So I figured, okay, they're preventing me from publishing that novel. Let me go ahead with the coffee table book. I've been working on this book for 6 years. There are photos that I took in 2016 and 17 that I want to include in this publication. That's a problem for them too. Now they're in my phone, preventing me from going to the next step on that. So what is it going to be a problem for these people? And who the fuck are these losers that have nothing to do with their time, have no passions, no interests of their own to develop or work on, that their number one hobby and favorite pastime is sabotaging people who are productive? What's going on? Who's in charge here, and how do I talk to them face to face? Because I've been filing police reports up the yit There is no way to communicate how many police reports I have. I could not count them if I tried. Could not. Between online filing, in-person filing, phone call filing, emailing straight up between detectives and I, emailing judges' chambers. It's got to be more than 1,000 at this point. I filed a civil...
Okay, see, someone else says she keeps speeding up, then slow motion. LOL. I don't know why, but I'm glad it's not just me.
I've been being raped with anyone unless they push me in a corner and leave me no choice. Why would anyone have a problem with me? I go around places, I spend money in neighborhoods, I encourage others to do the same. If I see a hungry motherfucker and I have extra, I share. I mind my own business. I don't wonder what other people are doing. I don't trick on people. I don't talk about other people's business, as I said before. I talk about what I have done and am involved in, and that's it. If someone is involved in a project with me, a collaboration with me, and their name comes up, it's not on the record. It's between my husband and I when we're sitting privately by ourselves in the tent. I don't go on and on and on talking about what other people do because I don't care. I don't care. What I do care about is when other people begin getting in my way on purpose so that I can't move on to the next stage in my life. My children are affected. My loved ones are affected. My friends and family are affected. That's a problem for me. That's a big fucking problem for me, as I'm sure it would be for any one of you. Let me ask, who is going to lose money out of their pocket if I create a coffee table book? Who? Who is going to lose sleep if I start selling fine art for Xavier? Because I've also done that. I've also created an entire email campaign in a matter of one day, outlining Xavier, his experience, the piece of art that he's submitting, numerous attempts to collaborate as staging of fine art, meaning finding people, real estate agents who are selling beautiful homes, large homes, small homes, tanning salons, nail salons, hair salons, any kind of business that deals with aesthetics, and offering them the opportunity to host his art for free so that if it sells, he can make a commission and they can make a commission off of the art. I do all of this in 3 days. It's not a coincidence that I'm not rich. I know what to do. I'm not making money right now because someone is standing in my way from doing so. Is that the kind of country you want to live in? You want to live in a country where you could be intelligent, gifted, dedicated, and some fucking loser sitting at home on their computer can decide, I don't like Heather, so she doesn't get to work today, and go into my phone and shut off my Google Photos and shut off my Google Documents and rearrange my novel? You want to live in that world? I don't. I sure do not. I want to live in a world where people can work on their own projects and succeed if they put in the effort, and collaborate if they so choose. That's where I want to live. I said before, and I'll say it again, I don't have any problems with anyone, with nobody. Not a single person, not a single living soul. Nobody. I don't start shit with anyone. I mind my own business. I wake up every morning in tears because I'm afraid and I'm cold and I'm tired and I'm pregnant. I send my kids a text message so that they know their mother loves them no matter what's going on. I tell them, have a great day in school. I love you. Please try to call me when you get out. Whether they answer or not, I send the same message every morning. I leave a voicemail for my youngest when her father doesn't pick up the phone. I don't talk to anyone other than Xavier. Social interaction has become fearful. I don't want to be bludgeoned by a stranger. I don't want to be stabbed anymore. I don't want to be ignored systemically. I went to go to the courthouse last week to file an additional petition. It would be my 8th in 3 years. And they made me start. Someone put something in my McDonald's. I got a big breakfast for Xavier and I immediately began throwing up blood. ended up at Northwestern Hospital. Anytime I try to file additional petitions, there is some sort of violence that occurs. No police interaction. No one explains anything to me. No one tells me what's going on or what I should do. I've not given anyone permission to use my content for movies or anything creative. I'm not an actress. I'm not putting on a show. So make it make sense. As I said before, go back to 2020 and watch all my live videos, starting with the One Heather GEE account. How many years can I be held against my will and abused before someone steps in and says enough is enough? I'm a good person. Not only am I a good person, I'm cool as fuck. I'm cool to chill with. I'm cool to talk to. I'm not judgmental. Just keep your shit away from me. Keep your shit away from me. Far away. Get out of my way. So we start working on the coffee table book, right? And I can't get him any of the content. So I figure, okay, cool. I'm not going to let one little bump in the road ruin my day, right?
You share all your photos. You can't send me the link unless you share all your photos.
No, I did that and it still wouldn't let me share my link. So I say, okay, you know what? I haven't done a maternity shoot professionally. I've only done maternity shoots like spur of the moment, like in what I'm wearing, you know, taking a picture in the mirror of the bathroom, or I took one, you know, by Belmont Harbor where I was like, oh, 23 weeks, whatever. It's the end of my second trimester, the beginning of my third trimester. I want to do a photo shoot. So I tell Xavier, I haven't had money to buy myself pants. I've been wearing the same 3 pairs of pants my entire pregnancy.
Where did all that money go, Heather? $400. Where'd it go?
So I got a little money and I told him I'm gonna go take out a couple dollars and buy myself a pair of pants and something cute and do a maternity photo shoot. When my big kids were little, social media wasn't what it was. And I didn't have the capacity to do a maternity photo shoot. I barely have any photos. I think I have 4 photos from when I was pregnant with my big kids with Viviana, Lewis, and Alexis. So I wanted to do something special. It's the end of my second trimester. I've been being held outside in a tent. I haven't slept indoors since February 15th of 2023. We're in November 15th, 2023. I'm not an animal. So I'm already upset about the photo thing and the coffee table book issues that we've been having. It's frustrating. It's like 4 days of trying to share him these photos and not being able to. And like I said, hours and hours of me going through the content and gathering and organizing and getting my phone together and making space in my storage and doing all this stuff, and they just dead stop me from doing any of my projects. So I changed my mind. I'm like, okay, you know what? This is not a detour. I mean, this is not a dead end. This is a detour. And I'm gonna do this maternity photo shoot today, and then maybe tomorrow Google Photos or Docs or whatever will be working, right? Go to the store, try to get a little tiny bit of the money that I have out, and they refuse to allow me to get the money out.
Why are people fucking calling Panda Express? Let it be. Let her fucking eat.
That's all in like side of 1 hour, right? On top of that, it's incredibly frustrating to pack up the cart that we have where we push all of our belongings back and forth 20 to 40 miles minimum a month. It's frustrating. So they won't give me any of my money out. We're hungry. We're both irritated. There's this energy. It's just a terrible vibe. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it all. They're not gonna let me take out cash. I can't use my card at Marshall's. Let's just go. It's a link card from the state of Illinois. Since I've been pregnant, I was allowed emergency cash assistance. At Jewel, Target, Walmart, you can do cash back and get $40 out, $60 out, and buy whatever you need. Shelter, utilities, clothing, whatever. they literally tell me, nope. Yeah, you have the money in your account. You can't take it out. I'm not going to argue with the lady at Jewel about it. She doesn't know anything, right? The state is saying, yeah, it's there. I don't know why they wouldn't let you take it out. It's nefarious. It's whoever the fuck is in my phone not allowing me to use Google Docs. It's whoever the fuck is in my phone not allowing me to use Google Pages. It's whoever is following me around, stalking me. It's whoever is putting in my panties white marks where my butt goes and where my vagina goes so that I'm scared that I got raped. I didn't get raped.
You're
we
pregnant.
were in our tent with the lock on.
You're pregnant.
Unless someone literally floated through the wall.
And you have
I
3
didn't get
kids.
raped. So who the fuck, when we're walking away from where our tent is and our belongings are to go get food at Jewel across the street, is gonna go in my pants and put marks in them? What a sick fucking individual to make me feel as though I've been sexually assaulted. That's disgusting. That's fucking sick. That's sick. That is criminal, like Class X style. And the fact that there are so many people involved, that is RICO, baby. RICO. You want to talk about gang members getting charged with RICO? Why don't you look at yourselves, whoever you are? I know you're supposedly the authority, right? Or so you like to present yourselves. You could get hit with that same RICO that you want to hit the streets with. I mean that shit with my entire heart and soul. Trip on the money that's, stuck in the account right now. I got you money. So, okay, we're going to walk the 10 miles back downtown, right? From Portage Park. We start walking towards Portage Park. Some motherfucker in a 4-door red sedan comes flying down the street at Xavier. He's balancing a bicycle and all of our luggage is on a cart. And this man swerves like he's going to run straight into Xavier and knocks everything down into the street. Into 6 lanes of traffic at Irving Park and right there where you turn into the Jewel. There's 6 lanes right there because you've got to be kidding me. This is not random.
And my new bike.
This is not, and his new bike. He's so happy, proud of this bike. I don't know, a sponsor gave it to him in River Grove. That's not the point. The point is, we have people who care for us and sponsor us and make sure we don't miss a meal. Where the fuck do they go when these other people start swarming around and fucking doing this? Where are all the people who know what's going on, who have known for 4 years? Where are they? YouTube, unlike Insta, it gives you the ability to make individual content private as opposed to your whole page private. So I can have my page public and have all my lives private. So I can go on there and have a breakdown, have witnesses watch, while I'm going live, and then I can turn it on private so that when I need to reference it for court or legal reasons, I have everything there. There's no storage on my phone. I don't have to save it on my phone. I've got it on YouTube, right? No understanding of what the fuck is going on. And I'm just gonna keep going. Everything's okay, right? Everything's okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. And the comments that I'm reading from YouTube, they hurt me. I'm only human. I'm a nice girl. I would not say this shit to my worst enemy, let alone to someone minding their own business, focused on their own self-development and growth, etc. and so forth. So it's bothering me, and they're replaying in my mind all these lies about me. And you know what's happening to my self-worth? I'm starting to question, am I disgusting? Do I deserve this? Do I deserve to be raped? Do I deserve to be kept outside in a tent? Is my family better off without me? And then I'm telling myself, Heather, shut the fuck up. How dare you? You are a strong bitch. Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare. And no matter how much I try to redirect my energy and attention, these comments are just replaying. Myself, did I do enough to apologize? What's wrong with me? Would they be better off if I wasn't here anymore? And when you start really asking yourself that question, there's a problem, So I get off of social media and the comments are just pouring into my mind like a broken record. And so I start reciting, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. And I just say that over and over and over in my head for the first 15 minutes, and then out loud for the next hour. And we walk 5 miles, and the whole time I'm just reciting that over and over and over and over and over. And I keep on telling myself, deliver us from evil, on earth as it is in heaven. Deliver us from evil. And those, I'm saying the whole thing, but those two phrases, those two sentences, they're just sticking out to me, you know? And I'm getting irritated by other things, but I just keep saying it over and over and over and over. And I don't know, what's going to happen with me in the future. I don't know if I'll ever get my coffee table book done. But right now, I just have to be worried about being okay right now. And so saying that to myself, reminding myself of that over and over and over, it makes me okay right now. And when I'm about to lose all of my faith and give up completely, my baby moves around inside of my tummy and reminds me, like I said before, you're alive. You may have lost a lot, but you're alive. Your life is yours still. You're alive. And there's a baby inside you that's alive. And there are 3 children that no matter how old they get or how far they seem will always be your responsibility, Heather. And so you don't give up. And so if you're feeling like being an asshole today, I just want to remind you to ask yourself, what's your impact? What's your impact on yourself? What's your impact on your target? What's your impact on the world? Make sure that the energy that you're expending, make sure that the person you're breaking down, make sure that the disgusting filth you're saying and thinking and communicating to others is having a positive impact on yourself, the world, the people around you. Make sure that if your daughter, your wife, your husband were on the receiving end of all the hatred that you're giving out, that you'd be okay with it. You want your mom, pretend that you're my children for 5 minutes. Are you okay? I don't know what your problem is with me. I don't know what I've done to offend you, but I know that I don't deserve any of this shit. So, as your comments come flooding back into my head by the thousands, and I pray that I'm not actually getting raped, that it's someone just playing a mean trick on me again and again. And I pray that the United States government has not been taken over and that there's some reasonable explanation for why law enforcement has not responded to any of my hundreds of police reports and petitions. But in reality, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know how any of this is legal, and I'm scared. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a great night. And keep the faith. And when all of this evil and filth and disgust starts creeping into your mind, chanting. You don't have to say what I said. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and glory forever and ever. Amen. You could say whatever you want, but that's what's been helping me. So,